What's up, guys? Welcome back to Logic Lounge Gaming. It's time for part number 2 of our flight to JFK. We are sitting in Shannon, Ireland right now in our first stopover along the way to JFK. Of course, we're in the A318 doing Speedbird Flight 1, one of my most favorite flights, of course. We are going to do the long Atlantic crossing today in this little bird. Yes, it does cross the Atlantic. Yes, it's only about 35 seats. This little plane is. It's a very fantastic little bird for crossing the Atlantic on a daily basis. Pretty much it's going to be a straight shot to JFK today. The wind just isn't in our favor today, so we just have to make a straight shoot for it. No getting around those heavy winds. So that will actually result in a very long crossing time of 7 hours and 8 minutes today. We're going to be having a headwind pretty much all the way across. I think our average headwind component is 48 knots, so it's going to be a very strong headwind today. So let's hop into the cockpit and start getting set up so that we can get these passengers off to New York and to do all of their business, because yes, this is a business class flight. Most people do this flight for business, so that's what we're going to be doing today. First off, let's get our checklist going with our co-pilot. We're going to start the checklist, and while we do that, I'm going to do some loading.
Speed now, but not less than 160 until you reach 4.
Both off.
Engine
Not less than 160 to 4.
Check
speed
normal.
burn,
parking
232.
brake,
I'll tell you 79 Alpha, turn
Plus
left,
levers.
heading 305.
Idle.
Report localized
Ecam
established
recall.
on 27 left.
Check.
anti-skip,
On.
emergency lights,
Checked
Speed
and
851
on.
reduced to
no
180 knots.
smoking signs,
On.
Waiting up,
Air
good 851. Shuttle
Checked.
14 Papa, descend to altitude
Ventilation panel.
3,000 feet.
Is checked.
fuel pump,
3,000 feet, shuttle 14 Papa.
Direct ticket in, 36 Juliet.
Chris 360
Set
Juliet,
on.
Roger.
dead ears,
Speedbird 232, contact
Checked.
tower 18.5.
checklist complete,
18.5, Speedbird 232.
All right, taking just a little bit extra fuel today because I just don't know what we're going to do for fuel-wise crossing the Atlantic. I'm hoping everything is correct, so we're boarding everything right now. Okay, that's done. So we're going to move over to the left-hand side here and start our configuration of the panel. So this is BAW Flight 1. We'll put that there. I guess it doesn't like that format, so we're going to do, what is this? EINN/KJFK. Boom. We're not going to use that company route. Flight number is 1. Actually, it should be BAW1. That's actually the input that the ACARS takes for relaying our flight number. Let's do a cost index of 50. I'm assuming we're going to be at flight level 3. We're going to do an initial flight level 320, but I think we're going to be able to step climb. I just don't know yet, because that is something that is just an unknown factor. So 14.5 is our block fuel.
I'm on A101, reduce your speed please to 180.
Very good. All right, preference. We're going to do that in a minute. Actually, I think we can do that now. So we're going to do flaps of 1 today. And that will get filled in once we do our flight plan, which we will do. I'm just going to fill it up to our oceanic crossing. We don't need to do everything. So departure, we're going off of 24. So we're going to have a little bit of a taxi today. And it's UNBE2. UNBE2. So let's see. UNBE2B. Yes. That is the one we want. That leaves off at that one, so we're going to go Gisti, 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 Gisti. And our next one is going to be Mallet, M-A-L-O-T. That I think is our actually entrance point, M-A-L-O-T, because we get into our oceanic crossing pretty quickly here, since we are so close to the western half of the UK. Or actually, we are at the western half of the UK, and we will do, I hope this works. It's 53 north 03, sorry, 020 west, please work. Okay, Okay, I think I have to do it. I forget how coordinates work.
Turn left heading 355.
I think it might be N 53 west 020. I think that's nope. Okay, so we're just gonna fill in the flight plan until then, and I will fill it once we get up into the air. Once I'm done talking to you guys, because I don't remember. Oh, here, I could probably do it this way. This is probably the way that I should do it, because I think this is how it works. So it would be Nat Bravo.
300 degrees, report established, runway 27 left.
I do it Nat Bravo 1, and it will be 5300.0. Oh, crap. I'll just put in this first point just so I can figure out how to do it. 53.00 slash 02000 west. 02000. Did it wrong again. 02000.00. Boom. No. Crap. That means it's after. I swear this is how this works. Forget how to fly the Airbus. 53. 00.0 north and 0.0 west. Enter. Yes. All right. So that's how you do it. All right. I'm just gonna do that first Nat point because it's gonna take a while. Actually, you know what? We only need to do 2 points here. So let's do Nat Bravo 2, and it will be 5300.0 north slash 04000.0 west. Boom. Hey, I can do it quicker. Okay. At that point, then it's going to be Rycal. And after Rycal, it's going to be N436A. That's not actually in the database, so I will amend it to Alex, A-L-L-E-X, A-L-L-E-X. And last point is SCUP, S-C-U-P-P, S-C-U-P-P, and PVD. And last one, I swear, is going to be an airway, the J55 airway to Parch, P-A-R-C-H. And then the Rober 2 arrival. Parch, and then we're going to do our arrival. It will be ILS 4 right is going to be our landing runway, is what we're planning, as well as the Rober 2 arrival, and we are approaching via nothing. So there we go. So let's do a quick test here to look at our flight plans. We'll go plan, let's zoom it out a little bit, and all the flight plan.
Cathay 239, contact the tower, 118.5, good day. 118.5, Cathay 239, good day.
Awesome. All right. I think we've got one discontinuity in there. Yes, we got one, because that's the Parch to Rober. If I remove that. Ah! Oh my goodness. Why? I don't think you know what's happening right now, but if you did, it's really weird. There we go. I really don't. I don't know if that actually is just gonna happen in whatever just happened.
Speed 180
We'll just leave it at that was an accident, and I didn't mean to do that. And
Virgin 301.
call that good. My computer just started locking and unlocking itself for a long time. All right, so we've got everything in here. We'll deal with this once we get closer to JFK. We have our V speeds in here. Our flight plan is all set up. So that means that we are pretty much good to go. No ATC on today, unfortunately. Aircraft doors, we will start closing everything. We're going to set our MCP. Because we don't have any flight sim or ATC on right now, we'll go up to 320, managed speeds there. Check and check. Very nice. We're looking good today. Actually, we're also looking good on our departure time. Close those doors. And front door close. Go back to our checklist.
909 uniform. 2909 uniform, 22 miles.
And we'll be pushing back here soon, hopefully.
Speed to 180 knots.
190 degrees, 180 knots.
Awesome.
Before start checklist.
China Eastern 551, when established,
Closed and
descend
locked.
with the glide path.
APU.
Set on.
Complete.
Virgin 301, contact the tower, 118.5.
And it's going to take a little while for the APU to start up. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a pushback to the left, and we're going to taxi over here somewhere and follow it up to where we need to go. So I'm going to prepare for pushback and departure. Straight back pushback, manual stop. And we've got it coming out of the building. Okay. That always works, I guess.
China Eastern 551, contact the tower, 118.5, good day. Speed at 909 uniform, turn right, heading 245, report established, runway 27 left.
And I think our APU is available.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin signs.
Set on. Idle.
Air China 855 Heathrow, 20 miles, landing runway 27 left.
Checked.
Landing runway 27 left, Air China 855.
Speed at 909 uniform, when established, descend with the microwave.
When established, descend on the microwave, speed at 909 uniform.
Air China
I guess I need to remove the wheel chocks.
Right, heading 245, established, runway 27 left.
Turn right, heading 245.
Ground services. Oh, they are removed. Okay. I need to follow AES instructions.
Not less than 180 knots.
There we go. Now he's talking to me. They were good to go out here. Our dinky little plane is ready to go across the Atlantic.
Air China 855.
We've got our
4,000 feet, descend further
guy over
west
here
south
who's going to be
to
giving us instructions.
Speed at 909 uniform, reduce speed
All right,
180 knots.
let's
Maintain
go.
until 40 ME. Iberia 3180, turn left heading 065, reduce speed 180 knots. Heading 065,
Guess it's windy today. Our definitely not starting the engines yet.
909 uniform, contact the tower 118.5, good day. Speed at 909 uniform, tower 118.5. Tower 185, speed 909 uniform.
And I'm gonna wait till we get past this road here to start our
I think I
engines.
crossed there with someone. Was that Air China 855 established? Air China 855, roger, descend with the glide path.
All right, let's start number 2.
UQNH 1009.
Going to 1009, clear out runway 27 left, Air China.
And because this airport is weird GSX, I think we're gonna stop push back right about here.
Iberia 3180, turn left heading 345.
Heading 345 to the left, Iberia 3180.
Hey firm, UQNH 1009.
1009, Iberia 3180.
And we'll wait for the stabilization.
Turn right heading 245, establish runway 27 left.
And we'll start number 1.
27 left, leave at 799.
Very nice.
Leeward 799, descent to altitude 4,000.
There's hydraulics pressurizing.
Iberia 3180, turn left heading 305, report
And like I said, we're going to also be doing the return trip sometime soon after this video, and we'll be able to do that really steep approach into London City, which I'm super excited to do. That's going to be a fun flight. And that's just a direct flight too. So from JFK to London, it's just one flight across, which is nice. And we'll wait for the stabilization. And he's saying, have a good trip. Where'd he go? Around here somewhere. I guess not. Oh, there he is. He got over there. How'd he get over there? Thought he was over here.
Swivel 799, maintain 180 when established.
Alright.
955 limit, turn right heading 245, establish 27 left.
We have an after start checklist. There it goes.
Engine mode selector.
Iberia 3180, reduce speed 160 knots, maintain till 40 ME.
Set off. Set off.
Ground spoilers.
Set.
Rotor trim.
3180, roger.
Checked 0.
Pitch trim.
Swivel 955 limit, when established, descend with the glide path.
Not doing the pitch here. Let me do the pitch. I think I just manually skip it.
Side
115, Iberia 180, right?
Full left.
Shuttle 3 Victor, 24 miles, landing runway
Right.
27 left.
27 left, shuttle 3 Victor.
Neutral.
Full up.
Full up.
And full down.
Full down.
Swivel 799,
And
speed
neutral.
is 180 knots to 10 DME,
And
please,
full
then
left.
not less than 160 to 4.
And full right. Neutral. Alright.
799, thank you. If you can
Laps
report that
1.
please to the tower on 118.5, correct? Shuttle 3 Victor, turn right heading 130.
Flaps going down to 1.
And Shuttle 3 Victor, right heading 130 degrees.
Received.
Checklist
Right heading
complete.
130 degrees, shuttle 3 Victor, sorry.
Yeah, alright.
Shuttle 3 Victor, turn right heading 185.
Right heading 185, shuttle 3 Victor.
Swivel 955 Lima, maintain 180 knots.
Alright, now we get to taxi. Like I said, we got a pretty long taxi today because we got to come all the way around here. What we're going to do is we're going to come around this corner and then follow this taxiway up to the end of the runway over here. 'Cause Shannon doesn't really have very good taxiway system, at least in this build of the airport.
No flight.
Set.
Shuttle 3 Victor, turn right heading 245, report established runway 27 left.
Right heading 245 from Wilco, shuttle 3 Victor, 27 left.
Brake check.
Did the brake check.
Pedal pressed.
There we go.
Checked 0.
LA 219 Lima X-ray.
Check.
219 Lima X-ray, 22 miles, you're landing 27 left.
Takeoff data.
19 Lima X-ray.
Reviewed.
Swivel 19 Lima X-ray, turn left heading
Flight
350 degrees.
instruments.
Left 350 degrees,
Check.
leeward 19
TO
Lima X-ray.
config.
Set.
Checklist complete.
Alrighty. So now we just need to make our taxi all the way down to the end of the runway.
We'll establish 7 micro, shuttle 3
Hopefully we'll abbreviate this a little bit. I'll taxi a little bit faster than normal,
2703 Heathrow 22
while
miles,
still
heading
keeping control, of course.
130 degrees.
The
left 703.
whole thing.
219 Lima X-ray,
So
turn left
what we want to do is we want to go like
degrees.
this,
305, okay, 219 Lima X-ray.
and then like this,
Leeward 703, turn right heading
and
185.
do a nice left-hand turn onto this taxiway.
703.
Basically just a straight shot onto this taxiway ahead of us,
555 Lima,
and we'll be good to go.
A320, it's just under 5 miles ahead of you, speed not less than 160 knots to 40 ME. As I said, not less than 160 to 4, 955 Lima. Thank you. Report that to the tower, please. 118.5.
One of the reasons why I love this flight is just because it's such a small aircraft. It's an Airbus, yes. I think I'm still a Boeing man at heart, but I really do like this small little aircraft just because of how far it goes and how it uses its distance to connect two major cities. I think there's a similar flight. It comes from like Scandinavia, and they do it like all the way down to like, I think it's like Texas. It's like a 737-700 with internal fuel, like extra internal fuel tanks, and it goes from somewhere in Scandinavia to, I think, Fort Worth. And it's supposed to be like the longest 737 flight or something like that. I think it's run by Scandinavian Airlines. I'd have to double check on that, but that's another interesting flight. Maybe it's something I can do. I don't actually know. I am planning some other flights though in a 777. I think I want to do one from Dubai to New Zealand. I think that has a 777 service. That seems fun. As well as some more in the U.S. I like staying more U.S. based, but it's fun to do other international flights. Like always, you guys can leave your suggestions down below. I am taking suggestions just because you run out of ideas sometimes. You can't think of any other airports to fly to. I know a lot of people will probably say Southwest flights and Delta flights. So I pick out the ones that I find interesting and I like to fly. And that's how I usually pick them out.
Shuttle 3 Victor, contact the tower, 118.5. Good day.
So like I said, we got about a 7-hour flight today. It'll be nice and long, and from there we will do our return flight from London, or excuse me, from JFK to London City, where we get to do that really steep approach, which I'm going to find super fun, doing that really steep approach, because I've never used the steep approach button in this plane before. It's right over here. Let's see where it is. Right there, steep approach. That's an interesting button because it does a lot of funky things. I've got to like read up on the manual of how it's used and see like how people use it. But it's going to be so much fun just because I've never used it before. It's just a quirky feature that not a lot of people use. I mean, even in Airbus aircraft, it's not a used feature a lot. You don't really need that steep of an approach. You usually need a nice gradual approach, and usually airports have that. That's a general oddity, which I'm going to find fun to use. We're approaching the end of the runway here. Like I said, Shannon is really weird. Like, it used to have like 4 different runways. Now it just has 1. It has taxiways all over the place. It has paved over runways. Shannon is just a mess. And I think, you know, in real life, they've fixed most of it, but for at least right now, it's interesting. I'll just call it interesting. And I think half of it also has to do because it's a preferred destination for like ETOPS and for emergencies. So they might need all of the runway space or all of the taxi space for special circumstances. I think. I don't even know. But we'll see. All right, we're here at the end of the runway.
Flight attendants, seats for takeoff.
Take our seats for takeoff.
Takeoff checklist.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
Brake fans.
245.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked normal.
TCAS.
Shuttle 14 Papa, reduce 180 knots.
180 knots, shuttle 14 Papa.
TARA, tilt above.
Exterior lights.
Speedbird 232, establish low
Set
climb
off.
Sliding tables.
River 232,
Stowed.
descend ILS.
Stand by left, Speedbird 232.
Shuttle 14 Papa, turn right, heading 180.
Right, 180, shuttle 14 Papa.
Are you gonna stow your table, lady?
I'll tell you, 79 Alpha.
Checklist complete.
Alrighty. Here we go.
I'll tell you, 79
Open up the throttle a little bit. Let it normalize, and then toga.
Man, toga,
Shuttle
SRS
14
and
Papa, turn
runway.
right 245, report localizer established 27 left.
Right, 245, call you localized, establish 271.
Alright, gonna keep it on the center line.
I'll tell you, 79
Power
Alpha,
set.
left, 360 degrees.
100 knots. Rotate.
232, you can start
Into the air we go.
60 until you reach 4.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Navigation.
Check.
Alitalia 79 Alpha, turn left, heading 30.
Beautiful day. Just a few clouds in the sky. Definitely cleared up from when we came in. It was a little bit foggy, but it looks like it's cleared out.
Speed 851, reduced to 180 knots. 180 knots, speed 851. Shuttle 14 Papa, descent to altitude 3,000 feet. Altitude 3,000 feet, Shuttle 14 Papa.
Direct ticket in, 36 Juliet.
Chris 36 Juliet, roger.
All right.
Movement 232, contact tower 18.5.
Do a little bit of manual work here.
Shuttle 14 Papa, localized established 27 left.
Got some wind blowing straight at us here.
Wave 160 to 4, Shuttle 14 Papa. Speed 851, turn right, heading 180 degrees.
Now we need to gain some speed.
Speed 851.
Flap 0.
For the flaps to come up.
360 Juliet, turn left, heading 020.
The after takeoff checklist.
020, wait, 36 Juliet.
Speed 851, turn right, heading 245, report localized established 27 left.
Disarm.
Right, heading 245, report
Check.
localized established 27 left. Speed 851.
Gear up.
Shuttle
Lights
14
off.
Papa, contact the tower 18.5. Contact
Set
Shuttle
off.
14 Papa, bye-bye.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Chris 360 Juliet, turn left, heading 360.
Checked.
Altimeter.
Water pilot on 2.
1012. Check. Checklist complete.
Chris 360
All right,
Juliet, turn left,
autopilot's
heading
on.
345, localized established 27 left.
Still climbing with climb thrust.
Wait, 36 Juliet.
We're pretty heavy, so we can't like rock it up like we usually did from London City. We actually are pretty full, so we've got to take our time to cruise up to our cruise flight level. And I should probably check to see what our top altitude can be. It says optimal is 370, so I'm actually going to make this 360. Then we'll go up to.
Check.
All right, we set everything to standard,
I'm on a 101, turn right, heading 185.
and away we go. We'll be climbing like this as we enter our oceanic track, and in about 6 hours, we will start our preparation for landing. I mean, this is pretty much the edge of Europe right here. This is where we enter the Atlantic, and we head off to the New World, as you might say. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We're going to have our next video soon of my landing, and we'll have all that fun stuff coming pretty shortly. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'll leave you guys with a short little montage, and I will see you guys on our landing.